me so much joy to welcome on our next guest, the AEW Women's Champion, Willow Nightingale. It's here to have her come out without
How are we? Hi, lovely to see you over there.
Lovely to see you.
All right, last time I tried to do this, I knocked the stand over.
You're a little tricky.
Now you did it perfect. Let's go.
Willow, Tekla put you through it tonight. You came out on top, all in, just around the corner. You now hold the top prize. What's going through your mind?
Honestly, what I keep thinking is, when I was an indie wrestler and I used to work at a tattoo shop, I remember I came home one night a little intoxicated and I was talking to my little sister and I was giving her like this pep talk and I was like, whatever you want to do in life, just give it your all and you're going to be the best at that. If you want to be a writer, you could be the top of the books. If you want to be an actress, you could be top of Broadway, whatever. I was like, one day I'm going to be top of the wrestles, which is not a grammatically correct sentence, but that is something that really stuck, and she has me saved in her phone as top of the wrestles. And that was the first thing that popped into my mind when I like held it and looked at the title. I was like, this is it. This is that weird thing that I tapped into. I was like, one day I'll be top of the wrestles. So that is what I'm thinking. That's what's going through my mind.
Now I'm going to have to introduce you as that from now forward as well. I'm going to also adopt that. Guys, questions for the champ?
Willow, first, congratulations on winning the title. Everyone back home in Long Island is very proud of you.
Thank
you. When Chris won the title, we talked about her being the first TBS champion to win the world title. You are the first Triple Crown champion for the women in AEW history. How does it feel to not only have that over Chris, but to now be in the history books in AEW?
Yeah, I mean, fascinating thing about this too is that has all been accomplished like within this year. Like I won the TBS title 2 years ago for the first time, but I held the tag and TBS earlier this year, and now the world title. It's really a whirlwind. I love AEW because now it feels a lot more like we've got our legs, we're more established, but it still feels so exciting and new. Like this is the beginning of something so much more, right? Like in my head, I'm like, this is gonna go on, and this is still like, we're just getting started. And to be somebody who's kind of helping lay down that foundation and hitting these marks and achievements at such like a crazy, awesome time, along with people like you were saying, like on the men's side, Kenny and Hangman are like, that is crazy company to be in. That is, so I'm like beside myself, like just like, oh my God, it's surreal. Very, very like surreal in the best way possible. Howdy.
Hi, Kate Davies from Post Wrestling. I had read that you have been diagnosed recently with depression, and I'd be curious to know how you're working through that with both in terms of your recovery from injury and preparing for your match.
So I like will say that it wasn't like a diagnosis. It was very much me just kind of being in a place, and like people have thoughts about self-diagnosis or whatever. I have people that I speak to. We have mental health help here, so that is one great thing about AEW is that we do have a therapist who travels with us and is there whenever anybody needs him. But I went in to record that stuff for Countdown that day, and I was going through it, and I was having a really hard time being Willow and thinking about wrestling. And like, if we really think about it, the past year has been so crazy in like a world sense. Like, who isn't struggling right now? And so they were like, what are your thoughts on this? And I was like, man, like really? I don't know. Like, why do I deserve to be champion? Like, I don't know, this is how I feel, this is what I've been going through, like, this is all elite wrestling, like, everybody is the best. We all deserve it, but I guess at the end of the day, this is how I've been feeling, and I've still been showing up, and when the opportunities are there, it doesn't matter how I feel, like, I've been delivering. If the opportunities are there and I'm winning and showing up, then that shows you that I can do that when I need to. But I do also think, speaking of mental health, like, it's very important, especially being like the happy, smiley girl, to be honest and say, like, that's unrealistic to have that 24/7. Nobody is that all the time. And I mean, I think it is good to strive for a little positivity, to try and allow ourselves some grace when things are tough and say, we all mess up, we all don't feel great, but what is something that can bring me even an iota of joy? And like, wrestling is that for me so much, in being able to do it, watch it, be around it, absorb it, live it. And that really is Willow. But I don't know that I even remember exactly what the question was.
Let me go back. With Double or Nothing being in New York, when the doctors said that you could not wrestle on Double or Nothing, I know that was really hard for you.
Yeah, I mean, my mom and dad are here today. Hey guys. But I had been like, she got like a whole troop of people to come to Louis Armstrong, and I was being very stubborn, like, no, we can make this work, I can have this match, and they were like, no, you
couldn't even lift your arm.
Yeah,
couldn't even lift your arm,
like,
and you're trying to say
you're a powerhouse wrestler and you have zero power right now. Tell me how you think you're gonna have a match. So it was just like compounded all of it, but I took that as a moment to be like, okay, you're gonna be out of it, let's refocus, let's try to like really return to ourselves and who we are, and enjoy the parts of life that aren't just wrestling and being on the road all the time, and remember that there's more, and this is all a part of who you are. So that's how I've been managing all that.
Well, thank you for your honesty and vulnerability on that. I know it's not easy to come in and speak about something like that when you don't have a prepared speech on something like that, and you handled it with grace. So thank you. Next question for Willow.
Joel.
Run.
I feel weird being in the front like this. Hi, Willow. Joel Pearl from Fightful and In the Weeds podcast. I'm curious because you did mention your injury. I'm wondering about the timeline from your decision to relinquish the TBS title to coming back to win the number one contendership in the Casino Gauntlet, and of course now winning the Women's World Championship. What was the timeline? What did you think was going to happen? And obviously it feels like maybe you were back a little bit sooner than planned. Can you take us through it?
Yeah, so for transparency's sake, I had an AC sprain, which is something that I have experienced in my other shoulder a few times, and it wasn't as bad. So in my head, I think that's also why I was like, I'll be good for Double or Nothing. But an AC sprain, an AC injury is also something, I mean, I don't know if what I'm gonna say is gonna violate HIPAA or anything. Well, I was gonna talk about,
You can say whatever you want for yourself.
one of my good friends who works here had an AC injury, and they had to get surgery and were out for like months and months and months. So it is, depending on the grade or the severity of it, something that could be, all right, you're out for a few weeks, or you're out for like almost a whole year. And ultimately, even if I get to a place where I'm like, I'm feeling better as a human being, cleaning my house or driving, because I had to drive home after I heard it, that was terrible. That was like, I was like, I'm convinced I can drive back from Maryland to New York, which is like a 5-hour drive. I'm like, I can do that. I got like 30 minutes in and I was like, I have to get a hotel right now. This is impossible. So it was really just kind of like, how do we get to wrestling? How do we rehab this and make sure we're good for this? And we were really fortunate where it wasn't the level of my friend who needed surgery. But it was kind of one of those like, we'll play it by ear and see how it goes. But there's no way you're gonna be able to do the Owen. There's no way you're gonna. For me, I was like, if I'm TBS champ, I want to be defending this whenever an opportunity comes up, whenever there's a challenger. I was like, if I can't do that, I shouldn't be champion. But things went well, fortunately. And so I was like, if the opportunity's there, get me back in. I want it. I want to be there. And I missed the Owens, so this is my chance to get to All In. And here we are. Here we are, almost. We're halfway, August 30th,
It's coming. Well, Willow, thank you so much for joining us here, and huge congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, let's celebrate Wednesday night. Does that sound pretty good?
That sounds good to me.
Let's celebrate the new champion Wednesday night. Congratulations, Willow.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
There you go.
Bye, Mom and Dad.
Thank you very much.
Hug it.
Yeah.
Let's go, champ.
Thank you.
Thanks, champ.
Thank you. Thank
Hey,
you guys.
Thank you, champ.